President Jammeh there talking about the APRC fundraising gala dinner, which will commence at 9 p.m. Organizers are urging all those attending to be seated before 9 p.m. Doors will be closed immediately after President Jammeh's arrival. Well, there seems to be no shortage of people willing to access and pay for services provided by the National Water and Electricity Company, but some public institutions are not showing that level of enthusiasm when it comes to paying debts owed to NAWEC. The problem was lamented on Wednesday by lawmakers assessing the performance of public institutions and corporations. Samuel Ba was following proceedings at the National Assembly, and he now reports.
Park committees of the National Assembly on Wednesday, the activity report of NAWEC highlights implementation of major water projects, consultancies and power generation work across the country in 2012.
Electrification projects within the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region were successfully implemented, transforming the lives of thousands of Gambians, expanded businesses, positively impacted on the health delivery services as well as education, especially in the field of ICT. The improvement of supply services over the years have positively impacted on the key pillars of the national economy, such as tourism, telecommunication, and other service industries.
Despite the global economic turndown, Sanyang said the company's general operations improved, citing vigorous maintenance at all power plants and water installations.
However, the cost of operations continue to rise due to soaring fuel prices. It is important to note at this point that over 70% of NAWEC's expenses is all fuel related. And this is the need why, if there is any formula for sustainability of the corporation, the fuel issue has to take a center stage.
The company's financial statement denotes an increase in sales in 2012 compared to the previous year.
The revenue of 1,857 million for 2012 represents an increase of 20% over that of 2011. This is due mainly to increased availability of generation capacity, both at the Kotu and Birkama power stations.
On the debt recovery front, NAWEC is not doing that well. For area councils and other local government entities and public institutions like GAMTEL and GRTS have not been coming forward to pay money owed to the utilities giant.
So I wanted to know as of now whether it is only NAWEC, it is only the councils that are owing NAWEC as of today, exclusive GAMTEL and GRTS.
This committee must step in, because we cannot allow this thing to continue. Because it's becoming a norm. Institutions are killing each other.
But, Honorable Chair, if you look at their income statement for 2012, putting everything on board, NAWEC has at least improved from making a loss of $1 billion in 2011 to a loss of 887 million. That in itself is something to be commended for. Bearing also in mind that there is a 333 million depreciation charge in that 887 million, which is a non-cash item. So basically, if you take that out, they will have at least $587 million compared to $1 billion of 2011.
The external audit opinion gives a true and fair picture of the company's state of affairs. While some utility experts believe that harnessing a huge renewable energy potential and regional cooperation through interconnection and capacity building should be looked into going forward, subject matter specialists are calling for greater public collaboration in resolving the energy quagmire of the country.
When it comes to the area councils, they cannot even accept those poor ladies who are paying $5 and are not paying. They are not allowing them to sit at the market ground. So you also should not give them opportunity to mess up, to let your money go like that.
I agree that the most urgent thing is for them to sort out their financial problems and their machinery problems, but also they shouldn't forget about the general public. Because I am not sure, I asked Fiora this question, but they didn't answer it. Can anyone sue NAWEC?
I would have expected that management in their report would have enlarged the portion on the way forward to look at our method of production of electricity and water. Are the sources of energy the most optimal, or can we find some combination of the various sources of energy that will give us the best possible pricing for our energy source?
Nominated member Babuge Sonko, Honorable Kanaji Jaula, Buba Aisane, and that of Jara West and Banjul North all raised concerns such as street lighting, aging and obsolete equipment, outsourcing and implications of the cross-border interconnections. Managing Director Sanyang and Board Chairperson Mustafa Koli later took turns to shed light on concerns earlier raised, such as tariff procedures, methods of power production, NAWEC public relationship, and cross-border interconnections and its general implications. The joint session later adopted the activity reports and financial statements of the National Water and Electricity Company Limited, NAWEC, for the year ended 31st December 2012. Samuel Ba, GRTS.
Meanwhile, the governments of the Gambia and Turkey on Tuesday signed a series of bilateral cooperation agreements at the Presidential Palace in Ankara. The agreements cover the key sectors of defense and security, health and education, agriculture and energy, trade and industrialization, tourism and culture. The two heads of state who presided over the signing ceremonies hailed the state of bilateral relations premised on genuine partnership and cooperation in many fields of socio-economic engagement. The President, Sheikh Professor Haji Dr. Yehe Jame and his stockist counterpart Abdullah Gol expressed their determination to further strengthen cooperation and partnership and to explore new areas of cooperation. President Jame used the opportunity to thank the Turkish government and people for the assistance it has been rendering to the Gambia, particularly in the fields of security and education. We will bring you detailed reports on President Jame's engagement in Turkey in subsequent news bulletins. Deserving farmers who are engaged in poultry production can now access credit facilities to grow and develop their enterprises. The disclosure was made during the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between Reliance Financial Services and Empass Poultry Processing Company. Uminjai was there and she now reports.
We want to sign today an MOU with Reliance because one of the biggest problems of agriculture in the Gambia is access to finance. Access to finance at reasonable cost. There are lots of Gambians that are interested in joining our poultry scheme, but their biggest constraint is actually being able to find enough funds.
There may be bankers and money lenders, yet their scope is not only limited to banking. They navigate around small and medium-scale ventures. Reliance Financial Service is now shifting its attention to the national drive to achieve food self-sufficiency. The signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with Empass Poultry Processing Company in Farato is meant to strengthen the bond that exists between the financial outfit and its development partner. The productive sector is an important segment of a country's economic growth. The Empass Poultry Processing Company is trying to put the idea in motion. A Gambian-owned poultry farm with its personnel setting their sights on not only improving agricultural productivity in the country, but uplifting the standards of farmers.
The signing of this Memorandum of Understanding between Reliance Financial Services and EH Holdings is really a big opportunity for the financial services sector to respond to the call of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Yehe Jame, who has carved out an excellent vision calling us to grow what we eat and eat what we grow. It is a fact that agriculture employs between 70 to 80% of the economically active population of the Gambia, contributes 30% to GDP, and yet only enjoys between 12 to 15% of loans and advances from the formal conventional commercial banks.
This poultry produces 100,000 day-old chicks in every 30 days, producing fertile eggs, hatching eggs into day-old chicks, producing the chicken feed, raising the day-old chicks to mature broilers, and processing and packaging the broilers for the market. The MOU is expected to provide financial lifeline to hardworking farmers and take the lead in boosting agricultural productivity.